Triple Lock coming here. Stories of life, hope, and destiny. So I was reading recently about Jacob and Esau, and it just kind of, the concept came to me of how, there's always like a double element. Like, okay, so as Israel progressed, let me explain a little bit. So as Israel progressed, there seemed to be like a, good side and a difficult side, or a right side and a wrong side, if you want to say that. But it basically was like, the descendants of Esau, essentially, but I think it's mostly people's choices. But there was a division, the 10 northern tribes left, and Judah and Benjamin stayed together and, lived a little longer in the land, but eventually everybody was captive, everybody did wrong, and then they got some restoration. And I just saw that be repeated, like even within the United States, how when our founding, there was a good and a not so good, with the Jamestown and the Pilgrims, and just how that developed as a nation. But it's always dependent upon choice, and that's where I just recognize that all of us have a choice. But there is a heritage, there is a, what side of the fence are you coming from historically, family, generationally, spiritually. And so therefore there can be blessings and curses all throughout that time, but it's also because of choices, because God says, he'll bless the righteous generation for, 100 generations, and he'll curse those from somebody who's doing wrong for like 4 generations, So it's like, there is a, historical side to things. And when you look back at even heaven, there was the righteous angels that stood by God's side, and then there was the fallen that chose to go after Lucifer. And so therefore, that Lucifer led them. They just didn't, choose all by themselves. Their commander walked away and they agreed with him versus asking God. So we know of at least 2 that stayed, 2 that stayed with the Lord from Lucifer's vision. But, if there are more, we haven't asked and we don't know. But anyway, at this point, my point is that there's righteousness, there's wickedness. You have a choice. We have a choice. I have a choice. Who am I going to follow? How am I going to follow? What's my heritage? What's my legacy? What is it going to be? What it's going to look like for your children, for you, for your nation? So just ponder those things. Pray you make good choices. May follow Jesus. Follow after him with a hard, with perseverance, with dedication, devotion, and then with your choices. Let your choices reflect how you live. God bless you. We'll talk more again another time.